This is a yearly tradition. You better expect it for every year. What is up, members of my collector corps? It is I, Super Mariozilla, or you can call me Vinny, and today we're going to take a look at our top 10 best figures of 2024. It goes without saying that this list was very hard to make. A lot of good stuff was released this year. Sure, there were some stinkers, but overall, it was a great year for figures. I absolutely want to talk about all the great releases that came out this year, but we're going to stick with our usual 10. Like the previous list, it was really hard narrowing it down to 10 figures. Everything on the list was neck and neck with each other for the most part, and there's definitely some surprises that I'm pretty sure you weren't expecting. I'm pretty sure at least one of these entries is bound to cause some surprises. It goes without saying, but if you have any favorites that did not make it on the list, I apologize, so hopefully I did not miss any. But obviously, I can't promise anything, so with all that out of the way, let's get started with the list.
Coming in at number 10 is the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 1972. This set the standard for how Showa Godzilla figures should be in the Monster Arts line. It truly is a great piece that not a lot of folks give it credit for. The paint is great, the sculpt is awesome, the articulation is fantastic. It's everything, again, a Showa Godzilla should be in this line. And of course, another benefit is ditching the Showa era scale. This is one of the bigger Godzillas released in the line. The silver dorsal plates are a treat to look at, the teeth are not sloppy. This feels like, a genuine quality product. Something that a lot of modern Monster Arts figures can't say. Which pains me to say that because I truly do love this line. It just frustrates me every time they get something wrong. Especially when it shouldn't be wrong. There's a couple of things that do hold him back though. That price point is too high, $100, and he only has an alternate head. Forget it. That's not cool, Bandai. And the mouth can't close all the way like the suit can. Yeah, so that's a bummer. If you're looking for a standard Showa Godzilla for the shelf, well, this will do your collection justice. It truly is a great piece worthy of that spot, so I absolutely recommend him for any Godzilla collector. He'll make a great addition. Get him soon before it's too late. At number 9 is the Mafex Nightfall Bane, one of the few big brute figures to be released by Medicom, and by God, they did a great job. The sculpt is excellent, his muscle definition is top notch, he's covered in great paintwork, shading throughout the whole body and a nice finish for all of the black on his clothing, which also features some shading. He pops on the shelf for all the right reasons. Bane may not come with a lot of accessories, but he still comes with all he needs anyway. I love the additional details like the venom pump that goes from his arm to the back of his head. I love the arm hair details. Again, he looks so nice. The price point is steep though, $115, maybe a little bit much, but if that's what we pay for to get big figures like this, then it was worth it. Yeah, I want to see more big bulky comic book figures. Bring on the Hulk. Give us Doomsday. I'll take any of those characters, no problem. Oh well, Bane will have to do for right now. For those that need the big guy for the Batman shelf, I'd get him sooner rather than later. He's worthy of a spot on the DC shelf. At number 8 is the Jax Pacific Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie figures. These guys are fantastic. Their price points are $15 a figure, and somehow that pack a really good amount of articulation. That's awesome. And their sculpted details and paint details are not too shabby either. They look really good. I only have these 4 so far. I'm still trying to find Knuckles, but I'm happy with the guys I have right now. They are well done pieces. I recommend these for any Sonic the Hedgehog fan. These are excellent figures, and again, they're only $15. That's something that I don't get to say every day, and it's not every day the figures that cheap make it on this list. I hope this speaks volumes about the quality of these figures. Sonic is awesome, great articulation and sculpt work. Shadow is fantastic, same story, great sculpt and articulation is amazing. Tails is not too shabby with the sculpt, and his articulation is good too. I just wish he had torso articulation. And Super Sonic is a lot of fun. The bright yellow is a treat to look at, and his details again are superb. And what helps sell these figures is the articulation. These are as posable a Sonic figure can be, by the way. You can get so many classic Sonic poses out of these. These are so much better than the standard Jax Pacific Sonic figures. I am very much impressed with these figures and I highly recommend them. They are awesome. I don't really have too many issues with them. They are that good. Not the end all be all, but still some fantastic stuff. Get these now while they are still on the shelves. At number 7 is the SH Figuarts Across the Spider-Verse SpiderPunk. This figure kills it. It is such a good piece. SpiderPunk has a lot of good qualities. His articulation is especially killer and works wonders with his accessories. His stylized design is captured beautifully here. His extra details like his jacket are top notch. His guitar accessory is a lot of fun to do displays with. It is amazing. And as I've said before, his articulation is killer. You can get so many poses out of this. It is insane how poseable he is compared to other Spider-Man figures, even with all the extra stuff he has on him. The colors are also bright and vibrant, and his paint job is some of the cleanest work I've seen in a while. It is eye candy to look at. His paint is so clean and definitely one of the best parts of the figure. For any Spider-Man fan, especially fans of the Spider-Verse movies, I recommend this absolutely. Grab this figure while you have the chance. He's still available for MSRP, and he's a great companion piece for the other Spider-Man figures. Get him soon, he's worth it. At number 6 is the Jada Toy Street Fighter figures once again. Do I need to say anything? These figures are once again fantastic. Jada killed it with these figures and there's still more on the way. That is awesome. The ones we got this year, Guile, Cammy, DJ, Violent Ken, Player 2 Chun-Li, they're all awesome. Great sculpted paintwork, excellent articulation, good amount of accessories. These figures are so good, they are a must-have for any Street Fighter collection and for a fan of the series. They come with everything they need for displays and whatnot. They are really fun to mess with, and whatever paintwork they get, they're super clean and do wonders for the details. They make the figures pop so much. They look so good, and these are $30 each. Prices like these are awesome, and they don't feel like $30 figures. They feel like so much more. I adore these figures, and they are some of my favorites in my collection. I highly recommend these. These are still cheap, so I would get them sooner rather than later. They're worth it, and worth having a spot on that Street Fighter shelf. At number 5 is the Mafex Daredevil. The man without fear joins Mafex and they killed it. He is excellent. They did everything right with this figure. The sculpted details are great, his face is captured wonderfully, and his logo is spot on and pops for all the right reasons. His paint details are great too. He has shading which helps his details pop, and his accessories are perfect, especially his Billy Club accessories. They are amazing and you could get some really cool poses and displays out of him. His red is such a nice vibrant red and his articulation is so good. He poses great and moves great just like a lot of the other Spider-Man figures in Mafex. He is so much fun to mess around with. You can get a lot of displays and poses out of this figure. What more can I say? This figure is awesome. The best Daredevil figure on the market so far. Much better than any of the Marvel Legends Daredevil figures, but I guess that's not a fair comparison. The price point is pricey, but that's not a big deal, especially for the amount of stuff you get. It's not too bad. He has a lot of merit. If you're on the fence, don't be. This is awesome, and I recommend this figure for any Marvel fans or any Daredevil fans. He deserves a spot on your shelf. He'll make for an awesome piece. I really can't name anything wrong with him. He's a fantastic figure. At number 4 is the SH Figuarts Super Android 17. Now this is a great figure. Holy crap, I wasn't expecting this thing to be this good, and I'm so happy he is. I'll go over him more in my review because I don't want to spoil my full thoughts on him, but just know he is amazing, especially in his articulation and accessories. Bandai absolutely nailed it here. He's a great piece to pose, and you can get so many displays out of him no problem. And his sculpt and paint details are so crisp. I highly recommend this for any Dragon Ball GT fan or just Dragon Ball in general. He is amazing and deserves a spot on the Dragon Ball shelf. At number 3, we have the Haya Toys Exquisite Basic Muto. Muto here is an amazing piece. She is everything a fan could hope for when it comes to the MonsterVerse's first original monster. The sculpt and paint is phenomenal. The amount of detail worked into this release is a lot. They worked in so much detail, and the paintwork is amazing. The amount of paint blending that was worked in is awesome. The dry brushing details, the red eyes, everything is fantastic. I'll go into more detail in my review yet again, but no, this is an awesome release, and articulation is awesome too. It went through articulation improvements during production, and all that for $50? That is great. That's why Haya is highly regarded compared to Bandai, actual improvements and taking feedback from fans. And Muto turned out to be a fantastic release regardless. I highly recommend this for Godzilla fans and Monsterverse fans. It's worth it. At number 2 is the SH Figuarts Red King. Everything I said in my review of this figure still reigns true here. I love this figure so much. He is such a good release. The sculpt work is amazing, actual texture and not plasticky feeling. The paint work is premium. The shading complements the sculpt. The shading looks fantastic and really does wonders for the figure, and it is not shiny. No shiny finish. It looks like an actual monster. It feels like a premium product. It is a premium product. The price actually feels worth it. This is everything a Monster Arts figure should be, and yet, it's not. This is a perfect representation of what a Monster Arts figure should be. That's how good this figure is. And even articulation is awesome. He poses really well and comes with fists. Not a lot of monster figures come with that, so that already gives him extra points and increases display options. That's awesome. Any Ultraman fan should get this figure. It's 100% worth it. Worth the price, worth the effort. It is an incredible release. Any Red King fan and Ultraman fan should grab this. Get this soon before it's too late. Now, before going into the number 1 spot, we should go over some honorable mentions. SH Figuarts Kazuya Mishima. Kazuya has a great shelf presence and looks amazing. His suit has a great amount of detail and his face looks great. His articulation is amazing. I love it. He poses so well despite the design. This is how Figuarts should be. I highly recommend this to any Tekken 8 fan and Kazuya fan, and he makes a nice addition for the Smash Bros. Collection, FYI. SH Figuarts 100% Full Power Frieza. Full Power Frieza has a lot of good qualities, a very much appreciated addition to the collection. Great articulation and covered in great paint and sculpt work. The sculpt work is spectacular and the paint work complements it very well. It works wonders here. Unfortunately, this is on the aftermarket, so if you want this, you'll have to hunt him down, but if you could find him, then grab him. He's worth it. Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Blackheart. Blackheart is one of the best legends in the collection, bar none. Awesome sculpt work, doesn't even feel like a Marvel Legend, and that's how good it is. The paint work is also superb, it's really good stuff. And he poses really well too. Some balancing issues because of the tail, but overall this is a great piece, and I recommend him for Legends fans, especially if you want to build up that Marvel vs. Capcom display. He's great. Super 7 Space Godzilla poster color version. I know this is odd to add to the list, but I had to. The novelty alone gives them a lot of merits. Space Godzilla here is great, especially his colors. They do wonders here and are my absolute favorite part of this figure, and sculpted details are not bad either. They're pretty good for Super 7 standards. If you can find this figure, I recommend adding him to the collection, especially if you love the Trendmaster style colors going on here. It really is a nice novelty to own. So yeah, this gets my approval. At number 1 is the Hot Toys Black Suit Spider-Man. Oh my goodness, this figure is fantastic. The amount of detail etched into this figure is amazing. They worked in so much detail into the figure, sculpted details on the costume, all on the ridges, and I appreciate the wet texture they gave the suit to make it look like a wet symbiote texture. It's perfect. The white logo is bright and vibrant and has texture on the costume as well. The color to black is a perfect dark black, and light reflects off it perfectly, and the articulation, while limited, still poses nicely for a Spider-Man hot toy. Has nice movement, not something to leave in a pose for too long, but still is a joy to mess around with. And the accessories are fun too. My favorite is definitely the iron arms. Great scale and movement. It looks awesome when put together. This is a figure I highly recommend, but unfortunately is on the aftermarket. So if you're hunting this down, try to find it for a decent price, and you'll love him like I do, assuming you know what you're getting into when it comes to hot toys. Find him if you can. It is worth it, 100%, and worthy of the top spot on this list.
A lot of great figures released this year. There were just a lot of good ones. And again, there were a lot of awesome figures that didn't make it on the list this year, so if I missed any of your favorites again, I really am sorry. I am always happy to do these lists for you guys and gals, so with that being said, I'm done here. Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you want to see more of this content, hit the bell icon so you definitely don't miss any of the content, and comment down below what your top 10 or top 5 favorite figures of this year were. Let's have a discussion. With that being said, I am Super Mario Godzilla, and I am out. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.